Greetings, everyone. This is Sean B., your 2X man, talking to you today and this week from on the road. As you'll notice, I'm in a camper, and you might notice another camper here in front of me. We're two families, two campers, going around Extremadura in Spain and Portugal for 8 days. So this week, my topic, it was also in the blog, and now it's going to be the topic of this weekly edition of the YouTube channel, is taking the 2X philosophy on the road. Many of you will recall that in my blogs and in my commentary that I have always struggled with having a disciplined life at home, in which I'm focused on my goals and on my diet and on my training and achieving my 2X goals or my vision for myself. And then what happens when I go on the road, whether it's for pleasure or for business, that I would lose that 2X lifestyle quite radically when I was on the road. And for a long time I struggled with this, and I was trying to find some solutions how to maintain a kind of level of discipline on the road that would carry me forward and still allow me to enjoy the traveling. And I think that I have solved that situation, and I'm really pleased about that, and I want to share that with you. Now, I say I think I've solved it because it's been something that I've come up with in the course of this last 2X journey. I'm seeing good results with it, but it's not yet a fixed part of the lifestyle, so I want to see if it works out for me. But so far, so good. So I want to share with you what I've been doing to travel, enjoy my time, and stay on that 2X path that brings us to that 2X vision that we're trying to fulfill. So I see basically four elements for the moment. One has to do with the fact that I'm not drinking. And tomorrow marks 2 months with no alcohol. And I keep coming back to this, and I don't want to overdo it in the sense that I had a drinking problem and now I've overcome that. It's nothing like that. But I found that with not taking any alcohol in my life, it's had such a dramatic effect on me. So the upside before was enjoying going someplace here in Caceres where we are and getting a local wine and tasting it, or a local beer somewhere up in a pub and enjoying that. That was the positive side. The positive side from not drinking is just amazing more amount of energy, clarity, long-term vision, the ability to not fall into like these pitfalls in which things go overboard and I have to struggle to get back up. Everything just seems much more on an even keel now since I don't have to take any alcohol. So I'm not going to say this is forever, but in this phase in which I'm transitioning, it's kind of important for me not to drink alcohol. And I also found that traveling without drinking alcohol keeps me much more on an even keel. I'm enjoying the moment. Maybe I'm not falling into overindulgence in the moment, but I'm enjoying the moments, but I'm keeping my eye on that 2X vision ahead. So for the moment, that's one point, no alcohol. Another one is that I'm keeping up with intermittent fasting, even though I'm on the road and we are getting together here with the friends and things, or going to restaurants. I've kept up the intermittent fasting for a number of reasons. One, I want to get away from that start-stop mentality, doing something and then stopping it and then having to ramp up to do it again. It goes along with that concept of consistency over intensity. I just want to maintain a consistent, even pace of this 2X vision. Sometimes slower, sometimes more quickly, but consistency throughout. So instead of the 16-8 intermittent fasting I've been doing at home, in which I only eat during an 8-hour window, I've tuned it down to 14-10. So I'm still intermittent fasting 14 hours a day. And it's really quite easy. And then what I'd like to do at one meal is like to work in something very healthy, like a big salad I made last night, a huge salad. So still enjoying the moment, eating nice foods when we're out of the town, but keeping the fasting, and when I have a choice, then I go and I eat something very healthy. So I found that's worked out pretty well as well. Another thing I do, and this is something I've done for years, is I like to continue working when I'm on holiday or when I'm traveling. And I also tone that down a little bit. What I do is, let's say if I would normally work 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day in my normal life, when I'm on holiday, I like to work 2.5 hours a day. A couple of reasons. One, it keeps me in the flow, the consistency, the rhythm. Another thing is things don't fall behind. I can, with a cup of coffee and 2 or 2.5 hours of work in the morning, I can keep everything moving along. People don't have to wait for me. I can keep projects moving along. And it gives me a bit of a structure to my day. I find a day in which I have 16 hours of doing nothing but relaxing a bit too much. If you think of the law of diminishing marginal returns, if I do 14 hours of relaxing and 2 hours of work, I get almost the same benefit in the relaxing, and then the professional side doesn't really slip all that far behind. And then I avoid going back to, let's say, normal life and having to catch up on all the things I missed. So I think that goes also in line with the consistency, keeping things rolling a little bit, and not starting and stopping. I do kind of have an advantage in many cases in that I really enjoy my work, and working for me is a pleasure. So that's not going to be the case for everyone. I hope it is for you. But if I can work for a couple hours a day and then enjoy the rest of the day, it makes the holiday even nicer. And then the last one is exercise. We've been doing a lot of exploring of places here, so we're walking a lot. I think I did about 13 kilometers yesterday of walking. I really ought to be running, but my body feels so stiff, I think, from the weightlifting and the jiu-jitsu. I just don't feel that motion, that flexibility in me. I would love to overcome that. I love to run. I would love to overcome that and start training again. Maybe one of these days I will go out in the morning for a light jog. But I'm walking a lot, and I'm doing a few calisthenics here and there. Now, calisthenics for me are not really a substitute for BJJ and for weightlifting, but it's kind of a stopgap measure along the way. I would love to be better at calisthenics. My weight to strength ratio is quite off, like I mentioned before. So once that if that becomes to a better relationship, then maybe calisthenics will be more pleasurable for me and more productive for me. So on Saturday, we're going to bring the campers back, and then we're going to go home and go back to, let's say, what we call our normal lives, which are not really normal, but normal lives for us. And the beauty is everything will still be in motion. I don't have to open a computer and say, oh gosh, well, how many emails do I have waiting for me now? I'm in control of everything. Health is still in good shape. I can go back to the gym on Monday, get on the mat, and train as if, let's say, I lost 10% but didn't lose 100% on my time off. So this revelation I've had, let's say, of how I could finally get this discipline while traveling is very important to me, and I'm extremely pleased that I've come to this point, and I'm happy to share it with you. I'm going to keep developing it, working it in to be part of my 2X journey, my own personal one, and I hope this has brought some benefit for you. I searched for a long time a way to travel and be consistent and be on my right track. And I might have just found it as a byproduct of implementing 2X. So now that I think about that, it's a wonderful thing. I implemented 2X, and inadvertently I solved a problem or a situation I had in my life, and I solved it without even really thinking about it. So that's really quite pleasing now that I think about it. And it goes along in the lines of what I say is, if we do the 2X, if we do the work inside, all these things are going to flow to us from external. So I'm convinced of that. I don't want to convince anybody. This is my own strong belief, and I hope this has been beneficial for you. Drop me a message. I'll send you a chapter of the 2X book that is now being finalized, and I'll send you a free chapter for that, so you can get some more insight into this philosophy, and send me any questions. Over and out. Take care.